Good morning. Welcome to Shining Mountains. It's a beautiful day today. Above those clouds, the sun is shining. Every day is a beautiful day. So I just want to welcome everyone and thank you for being here. We know you're a choice where you'd like to be, and we're so glad you chose to be with us because we love our family. So I would like to start this morning like I did last week by reading Ernest Holmes' prayer for world peace. So if you please join me. I know there is but one mind, which is the mind of God, in which all people live and move and have their being. I know there is a divine pattern for humanity, and within this pattern there is infinite harmony and peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness. I know that the mind of man, being one with the mind of God, shall discover the method, the way, and the means best fitted to permit the flow of divine love between individuals and nations. This harmony, peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness will be experienced by all. I know there shall be a free interchange of ideas, of cultures, of spiritual concepts, of ethics, of educational systems, and scientific discoveries, for all good belongs to all alike. I know that because the divine mind has created us all, we are bound together in one infinite and perfect unity. In bringing about world peace, I know that all people and all nations will remain individual but unified for the common purpose of promoting peace, happiness, harmony, and prosperity. I know that deep within every person, the divine pattern of perfect peace is already implanted. I now declare that in each person and in leaders of thought everywhere, this divine pattern moves into action and form to the end that all nations and all people shall live together in peace, harmony, and prosperity forever. Oh, it is. Brought that on, but I just want to welcome everyone and remind you that there are prayer request forms on the back table. So if you have anything you'd like us to celebrate with you or anything that is heavy on your heart, please feel free to take one of those and fill it out and put it in the prayer box, and Reverend Yvonne and I will pray with you all and for you all week. There's a lot of information on that back table, so you just might want to check it out. And with that being said, I believe we have some beautiful music.
Are you willing to be healed? Are you willing to be whole in the arms of the wholeness that you are? Are you willing to be whole? Are you able to let go? Are you ready to be the dancer that you are? Truth will set us free, and the truth will set us free, and the truth is I and you are me. We are dancers sparrows in the night. Just raise our heads, spread our wings and fly. And the truth will set us free. And the truth will set us free. And the truth is I am you and you are me. Pain spills out and love spills in. The love will come where grief has been. I don't know how, I just know that this is so. And together we are one, just little sparks from the same sun, spreading light everywhere we go. We are dancers in the light, we are sparrows in the night. Let's raise our heads, spread our wings and fly. And the truth will set us free. And the truth will set us free. And the truth is I am you and you are me. Are you willing to be healed? Are you willing to be held in the arms of the wholeness that you are? Are you willing to be whole? Are you able to let go? Are you ready to be the dancer that you are? We are dancers in the night. We are sparrows in the night. Let's raise our heads, spread our wings and fly. And the truth will set us free. And the truth will set us free. And the truth is I am you and you are me.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Praise the Lord. Oh my goodness. And the truth will set us free. Ernest Holmes said, "The laughter of a child is as important to the universe as the creation of a planet." The laughter of a child is as important to the universe as the creation of a planet. So let us move into that space now, because this is a time in our service where we recognize that we are here to supply and support and to love on and to see and to listen to the children of the planet. So let us move into the prayer that we send out every single Sunday, followed by our thoughts and intentions and actions of support. Let us tell our children, we see you, who you really are, made in the image and likeness of God. We cherish you, we support you, and we love you. And feeling that blessing that has just been presented again, as we are always presenting blessings with our intention, with our heartfelt ideas. Let us move into that space of knowing that we too, we are all the children of this universe, of the living God. We are all here under the shelter of each other to be supported, to be seen, to be cherished and loved. And as we relax into our seats or wherever we are right in this moment, as we relax into the moment, becoming aware of this moment and only this holy moment, may we embrace and embody and activate the truth within us which says, you are the beloved. You are the precious one. You are the unique and loved expression of the one. And so may we move forward into that idea of Ernest Holmes of world peace. May we move into that idea as we embrace this beautiful blessing that we are surrounded by and lifted up by and infused with. May we know there is a world peace that is possible. May we know that within us peace is possible. And as we embody that which is within us is God, is spirit, is wholeness, and is holy. May we then relax into that which we are serving the world with, that which we are giving to the world, and that which we are receiving from the world. May we relax into that place of trust. And see beyond it. That which is presenting before us at this time. May we see beyond the chaos. May we see beyond the pain, but may we embrace it in our blessing and in the love that we are, so that all that we contribute through the energy of beingness is to that greater good, to that world that works for everyone, and to that perfection that exists within each one of us, that holy perfection. Spirit, God, one, the all. And remembering that we are all children, playing together, working together, singing together, dancing together. May we create the space and the grace to invite all in. May we surround every being with love. And may we be the place where God shows up in action, through our words, our thoughts, and that which we are giving to the world from our beingness. We are the light. May we go forth together, joining the light of others, creating a greater expression of good. And resting in this idea that God is all there is, and that God is good, and there is one life, God, the life of God that exists within each one of us. I accept this, and I am so grateful that that which is beyond my ability to do, to think, to become is not impossible for God. And so I know that I can rest and trust my faith. And as I know that for myself, I know it's possible for everyone. And so I allow the breath of God to move in me and through me and breathe out as me, joining all my sisters and brothers everywhere in this attitude of gratitude. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. And together we say, and so it is.
We are dancers in the light. We are sparrows in the night. Let's raise our heads, spread our wings, and fly. And the truth will set us free. And the truth will set us free. And the truth is I am you are me. The truth is I am you and you are me.
Thank you. Thank you. So I am really grateful for all you early risers, everyone that got up, came to this center, and those of you who are online who are joining us when we had to get up an hour early. I'll tell you, I just didn't even go to bed last night. It was so distressing to me. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's wonderful to see everyone here. It is a beautiful day, as Reverend Linda said, because it's always a beautiful day if we want to find the beauty in it. So I'd like to start out by telling you a little story about a couple that were going to the airport. A woman and her husband were on the way to the airport, but they had to stop by the dentist. And this is what was said. I want a tooth pulled, and I don't want Novocaine because we can't miss the flight, the woman said. Just extract the tooth as quickly as possible, and we'll be on our way. Oh, and the dentist was really impressed with this. No Novocaine? Mm-hmm. You're certainly a courageous woman, he said. Which tooth is it? She smiled and said to her husband, honey, show him which tooth he needs to pull. She was very brave to have her husband's tooth pulled with no Novocaine. And I love that little story because it made many of you laugh. And that's what I want to talk about today is finding balance in challenging times. Finding our balance in challenging times. Because Spirit created us with an overflowing capacity for joy and balance and freedom. And so today's topic is about healing ourselves and healing our mind, body, and heart is one of the biggest reasons we come together here and study metaphysics. And it's like all things that are important to us, we tend to take it very seriously. So we watch our self-talk. You know, we catch ourselves saying things that we really don't want to experience, like, oh my gosh, isn't this a horrible day? No, we don't want to experience that. And we also observe our thoughts because what we're thinking is truly give the thinking, what we're giving our attention to in our thinking is also going to come about. So we seek to actively shift our beliefs into that which we want to experience, that which we want to bring forth. That's why we study the science of mind. And so what I want to talk to you about today is a little bit about humor and joy and laughter. I want to talk about those things. Even though we are experiencing what we are in this world, I feel it's as important or more important now for us to be able to be the wholeness that we are, in order to bring forth what's being called for at this time. I kind of see what's going on right now like a big quilt project. A great big quilt project. You start out with all these pieces, and often different people will work on this quilt, and that's what's happening now. But we have all these pieces, and everyone has an idea of how the pieces should be put together. But who's going to put them together? Who's going to sew them? And is everyone going to sew them the same way? Are the designs going to be, is there going to be a design that everyone can agree upon? Or is it just going to be helter-skelter stuff? That's how I see what's going on with this now. But what I know is that we have a foundation humanity has a foundation of good here. And we are building from that foundation. It might look like chaos, and it might feel painful, and that those things are very true, but there's something coming out of this. And so in our wholeness and with balance, we can contribute to the bigger picture, to the completed quilt. Not to the chaos of trying to get it together, not to the struggle of who's going to do what. We can be aware of that. We had a wonderful experience here this past Wednesday. We had Dances of Universal Peace. Now, what we do is dance and sing and send out prayers to the world. It's one of the most beautiful things. But my experience of dancing with Dances of Universal Peace is we're not sending it to someone who needs it. I see it as we're joining with others. You think that where there's chaos and pain and all this stuff going on, there aren't people praying and holding the highest good? Of course there are. So we join them. And doesn't that give you an uplifting feeling to think that you're part of the greater thing, and not what you want, but what is the greatest thing for all concerned? Instead of we're helping. It does help. But we have to get past that idea of helping to create. We are creating. And so I come away from the Dances of Universal Peace. It's fun. It's fun to be with this group of people or whoever shows up. It's joy-filled because you can't sing about love and peace and joy and creation without feeling it. It's just not possible. So it's a beautiful thing to experience, and it's why I want to talk today about balance, a balance in challenging times. And sometimes don't you feel like you don't have permission to be joyful? When stuff around you is just falling apart, or you've just heard the worst news in the world? Well, I've heard that kind of like, gosh, it's just like our fear and our pain and our concern and our anger even get to be so heavy that there might not be room for the joy and the laughter to come in. But here's what I want to read you a quote that is so powerful. I would never have made it if I could not have laughed. It lifted me momentarily out of this horrible situation, just enough to make it livable. That's a quote by Viktor Frankl. Let's take a breath with that. We must find our balance. It's not to make light of things that are heavy, but it is to create the light and bring the light forward to lift those things that are heavy. So let's explore a little bit. Let's explore the role of laughter in revealing wholeness. I loved in the song you saying, are you ready to be healed? Are you ready to be whole? I love that because that's what it takes. It isn't like we're going to create it out here. It's not even like we're going to create our wholeness or our freedom or our anything within us. What we do is activate it. We reactivate it. We bring it forth. We acknowledge it. We remember what we have and who we are. So that's how we do things. And in the Declaration of Principles, Ernest Holmes says, we believe in the universal spirit, which is God, operates through the universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thoughts and acts on it. What he's saying is there is a power for good in the universe. We're surrounded by it, and as we think into it, it responds to us. Now that's pretty powerful. And you know what? You don't have to do anything to earn the right to use the power of the law of mind. You don't have to do anything to earn it or to become a part of it. You are part of it. It is a part of you, but you must know that. That's the whole trick, is to know what and who we are. Not want to be, desire to be, long to be. It's wake up to what we are. Wake up to our wholeness and our holiness. And through the activation of joyous laughter, we engage the law of mind in our healing and our wholeness. We engage it. So it's not, again, creating something that isn't already within us. It is activating it. It's bringing it forth. And we must believe it in order to use it. We must, in the way that we want to, we must believe what we're saying about ourselves. I am a child of God. Yeah, except on Thursday when I did blah, blah, blah. Not true. Not true. No matter what I've done or haven't done, or no matter what anyone's done or hasn't done, those 7 candy bars did not knock me out of being a child of God. I'm still a child of God. Overeating candy bars? Maybe. But I'm still a child of God. You see, what I'm saying is we do not remove ourselves, but we forget. We forget. And we judge ourselves sometimes so heavily. Why should I be joyful? I had a call from my beautiful daughter, my oldest living daughter, this past week, and it was her firstborn son's birthday. And her firstborn son died 7 years ago. And so my daughter is always very tender. And so I said, okay, this is the deal, honey. I can talk to you if you don't cry. Okay, I won't. That's what she said. Bless her heart. She's so kind to me. What happens, though, is then I said, okay, as long as you agree not to cry, you can just feel and do anything you want right now. So we talked a little bit about the loss. We talked a little bit about the shock. It was very shocking. And then we talked about the preciousness of his life. And the next thing we knew, 50 minutes later, we were laughing. We were laughing, talking about this little towhead who had told his 3rd grade teacher, I am much smarter than you if you would just listen to me. And he was a brilliant boy, let me tell you. But anyway, so you see, even in our grief, we must be able to find, as we're moving in it and as we're sharing our memories and doing what we're doing, we must allow ourselves to let the joy come out. We had 30 years of joy with that boy. 30 years of joy. I mean, we could tell stories for weeks on end about that boy. And so on his birthday, I bought myself a present. And I bought myself a present because that's exactly what he would have said. Oh, me, man, you need to get this really exquisite blah, 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 you know. So I did that. And then I called my daughter and told her what I'd done. And she said, oh, Mom, I was just thinking of sending you a present. You know, because we both knew him so well. We both knew him so well. That's what he would have said. Because it used to be on everybody's birthday I got presents. Yeah, I don't know why, but I always got presents. So you see, we want to be able to allow ourselves, feel the grief, feel the pain, feel the joy, allow it all to come forth. Allow it to come forth, that it can bring us into balance. It can bring us into balance. So I'll talk about the stress and the effect on the mind and body by and I got this out of a report from the Mayo Clinic. It says stress has serious impact on our mood and our state of mind. We know that. You know what it's like when you're stressed out. You lose sleep possibly. You get anxious. I get anxious. Sometimes irritable, depressed, you know, all those things can come with stress. And also what happens when I'm stressed, I lack motivation. I lack that desire to be with others. So it has a huge effect on us. And it also has a profound effect on the body itself. Those are things I'm thinking and feeling, but it has a tremendous effect, as I said. It causes fatigue and sleep issues, and can be, I get headaches, chest pain, anxiety just runs rampant and takes up all the energy that would be normally just kind of out here and open to what's this and what's next and how's that going. There's an openness that we, each one of us, carry, and some who you are, so you know how you see the world. I'm kind of wide-eyed at the world. It's just joyful to me to be in the world, unless I'm stressed or depressed, which brings on depression, which blah, 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 right? So I want to tell you another story now about a man named Norman Cousins, and I'm sure many of you know of him. He was an American political journalist and an author and a professor and a world peace advocate. He was, in 1964, he was diagnosed with a progressive degenerative arthritis of the spine and connective tissue. And at that time, there wasn't much that the medical community could do with immune sufferers, and he was really struggling. He was struggling very much. And he suffered from this excruciating pain that kept him from sleep. And what he decided was, it occurred to Norman to experience with what he knew about the power of the mind, because he'd always been a very person who was very curious about how the mind works. So he decided he would experiment with what he knew about the power of the mind, and he decided he was going to see if what would work, right? So here's what he says. I made the joyous discovery that 10 minutes of genuine belly laughter had an anesthetic effect and would give me at least 2 hours of pain-free sleep. When the pain-killing effect of the laughter wore off, he's talking about him and his wife. He says we'd switch on Candid Camera or the Marx Brothers movies, he said, which would lead to another pain-free interval. He discovered that the power of laughter. And it also in the Mayo Clinic, they discovered that if you laugh for prior to something that's going to be painful, you'll have an extra 15 minutes of lower pain in that. So it not only, changes how we're feeling when we're doing the laughter, but it has an ongoing effect. And you know how it is when you're in a group of people, someone laughs, especially if it's something that's sweet. I don't mean laughing at people. I'm talking about sweet things. So someone laughs. I love to watch videos about cats and dogs, animals. And they are so funny that I just crack up. And have you ever watched Jeannie Robertson, a comedian? Oh, she is a crack up. She's a Southern lady. Yeah, she is funnier than any. Yeah, she's really funny. And so what he's saying, what his studies said, he went on to become he went on to join the staff at UCLA Medical School to pursue the clinical research on the healing power of laughter. And then when he died, he had been diagnosed 38 years earlier with heart disease. He lived 38 years after being told he had 1 in 500 chances of living. Now, he struggled with that illness, and his discovery of laugh therapy is detailed in his 1979 book, Anatomy of an Illness as Perceived by the Patient. It's a fabulous book. It's really a fabulous book. And what we know is that laughter also frees us in that moment, totally frees us to relax and allow things to happen that in our thinking and in our feelings that wouldn't be there without it, that wouldn't be there to that extent without it. So the stress has an effect on the mind and body, and what science of mind teaches us is not that we don't help people by praying to heal them. What we do is we heal our thoughts. So when I said that we don't want to have thoughts about, oh my gosh, what a terrible day this is, when I'm in that kind of situation or in a lot of pain, I don't pray for the pain to be gone. I pray for my mind to be free of it. That idea. Well, what's going to come in then? Something different, right? So it's really important for us to look at what we're holding and giving our attention and time to, and allow something else to come in, something else to be there. It's important to look at the causes of our stress and make a change in our thinking. Change your thinking, and you'll have a change in your experience. So it doesn't do us any good to claim we're whole and to claim that we are the living children of the living God and to claim that we have this ability to create if we don't believe it and if we're worrying ourselves sick about something. It just wipes it out. I mean, whatever the largest amount of energy is being used on is where our attention is and where the largest amount of energy is being used, that's what we're experiencing more of. So we can't say, oh, everything is well and fine, and worry ourselves to death about whatever it is we're worrying about. We have to put it into perspective. I heard someone say, well, worry works. It really works to worry because 95% of the time what you're worrying about doesn't happen. But here's my thought about that. How much time, how much of our lifetime are we using on worry? Are we using in anger, in disappointment, fear? How much of our lifetime are we in fear about different things? Again, there's huge things going on, but there always is. There always has been. We're just so aware of it because of the amount of information that's in front of us every second of the day. But things have always been going on. Not only the chaos and the outrageous things, but good things, wonderful things, blessings. So according to the Neuro Leadership Institute, laughing, I want to tell you about this because you all are so darn smart. I have to read it, and then I have to try and memorize it. And then I call my friend, and she said, oh, let it go, Yvonne. She said, you know what it does. But here's what the Institute said. Laughing swaps the cortisol in our bloodstream with highly sought-after chemicals in the brain. The dopamine, the oxytocin, and the endorphins. And the dopamine in particular enhances our learning and our motivation and helps our attention. The oxytocin is considered the empathy hormone and the bonding chemical. Now we're activating those with our laughter and with our joy. And when it enters the bloodstream, the oxytocin, it creates feelings of relatedness. So we can relate to others and we feel good being around them. You and I are laughing together. This is good. I have something I'm sharing and you're sharing. We're doing this together. Yeah. And the endorphins trigger feelings of pleasure. And people, this is what I was saying earlier, people can endure 15% more pain by laughing before whatever it is they're going to experience, right? And it goes on to say that other health benefits are improved immune functioning, stress relief, improved cardiovascular health. It laughing reduces anxiety. We know that. How many of us have a nervous laugh? I didn't know I had a nervous laugh. I had it for a few years. I don't have it anymore, but at my late father-in-law's funeral, I burst out laughing. It was the most horrible experience. I had to get up and leave. But I can honestly say I know what a nervous laugh is now. It was just a horrible thing, and it was, just happened. But it also Laughter improves our mood. It improves everything about us. So we want to, and also, this is what I love. It also works as a reappraisal technique. So what happens then, it reduces our need to fight or flee. Laughter just brings us right out of that into a place where we can actually think and respond rather than react. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what we're laughing about. I was so amazed to find out they have yoga laughter. I just like to watch, as I mentioned, a comic or, sometimes, an old sitcom. But mostly I love to watch animals because they just bring me such joy. My son has a cat. My son and the cat we all live together. And his big yellow cat does not have anything to do with me except it comes to me when it comes in the door because I have a brush and I scratch it, right? But sometimes the cat will flop down across the room from me on its back and wiggle its way over to me on its back. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I get hysterical. And I am so tickled by it. My son will come out of his room if he can, and he knows what's going on because it's this crazy cat going on its back across the room, and then it gets to me and I have to scratch it, with the brush. Those are the kinds of things that there's joy everywhere if we allow ourselves to be ready to experience it. We can find joy in almost anything. Anne Lamott, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with her, says, laughter is carbonated holiness. I love that. Laughter is carbonated holiness. And Marge, our beloved Marge Fisher, who passed a couple of weeks ago, used to, when she'd come on Sunday, bring me an envelope, and sometimes it was this thick, and it was filled with cartoons from the New Yorker or whatever other, and she'd say, there's a good laugh in here every single time. And she was right. She'd bring me the funniest cartoons. I'd be just hysterical. They were just the funniest things. And she made sure that she brought them to me every week. Now I don't have any up in my office, and I don't have anything like that in my home, funny things in my home. But I have the cat. And then I have myself. I entertain myself a lot because I'm so funny. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I can tell you, all of my life I've been asked, what are you laughing about? And when you don't have an explanation, I used to make stuff up. I don't anymore. Nobody asks me anymore. Well, sometimes. So, in this world that's sharply divided over just about any topic you can bring up, I believe that laughter is a bridge that we can meet each other on. And I will tell you what Pema Chodron said. She said, if we want there to be peace in the world, we have to be brave enough to soften what is rigid in our hearts, to find the soft spot and stay with it. We have to have that kind of courage and take that kind of responsibility. That's the true practice of peace. And we soften our hearts through laughter, through joy, through compassion, definitely through forgiveness, through awe. So you see, there's so much we have already within us. It's just these ragged edges that we're taking care of now. It's the ragged edges, and we all have them. Some are bigger than others. And sometimes we see others and not our own, but that's just part of being human. So I'd like to move into a prayer, knowing that there is laughter in God. So let's laugh. Let's laugh. And of God there's a song, so let's sing it. And as we gather together, there's a dance within each one of us, so let's dance it. And as we lift our arms up in gratitude and acknowledgement of the goodness and wholeness of each one of us, of all beings, as we acknowledge that, let it be our idea this week for our homework. Let us know that we are dedicated to seeing, finding, acknowledging, and just knowing that God is everywhere present. God is good, and God is all there is. May we move forward, meeting each other with a namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. And together we say, and so it is. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you.
We should almost do that other song at the end of it again. Maybe we will in a minute. So here we go. Every step is sacred, every moment new. When my heart is open, I see God in you. Life is a mystery, unfolding every day. My soul's evolution, the gift upon my way.
When the world seems crazy, when the hard times come, then I learn the lesson that we all are one.
Life is a mystery, unfolding every day. My soul's evolution, the gift upon my way. There is so much beauty, it's time to be aware. When I trust in spirit, I find my shelter there. Life is a mystery, unfolding every day. My soul's evolution, the gift upon my way. My soul's evolution, the gift upon my way. The gift upon my way. The gift upon my way.
thank you for inspiring us with your music. So we've come to that place in our service where we get to put into practice the law of circulation. For those at home, there's a place online where you can donate. For those of you in the sanctuary, there's a basket on the back table. And right now, I'd like to ask you to take your tithe, your gift, your offering, not only in your hand, but in your heart, and join me in this prayer for spiritual giving and receiving. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is. And so we want to thank all of you online who have joined us today. We love you and we bless you, and we hope we see you again next week. Thank you.